Hey everyone, it is time for our joyful quilt-along block number 7. So this one is a really easy one, so it shouldn't be too hard. We've already done flying geese. I don't think we did a square and a square yet, but if not, if we did already, time goes by really fast. So again, I've done all my cutting according to my diagram here on my sheet that you get by going to lisabongean.com, go to Quilt-Alongs, and you can print out the free block 7 there. After each week, they become $3 on our website, and you can still find the link at lisabongean.com to get to the website if that's an issue for you. All right, so I've got my red and my cream all cut out, and do you like how I use my design board here to put it in how I'm going to stitch it together? So even though the directions start off with the flying geese, I always kind of just wing it, and I'm just going to do the square and the square first. So I'm just going to take this triangle, and yes, this triangle had a weird measurement to it. Don't worry about it. If you want to cut 2.5 instead of 2 7/16, you can do that. But because we're going to trim it down anyway, so I don't know why I gave you that weird measurement. But what we're going to do is we're going to line up this point right in the center, and you can put a crease in your square. I just kind of eyeball it and go from there because we're going to trim it anyway. So I get that in there. I'm going to sew 2 sides on the square. Flip this one back a little bit. Line it up again. All right, finger press. And I'm going to press away from that center square. You can press open if you like. Remember, pressing is a choice. It's not a must. Some people like to open everything. That's fine. Whatever you like to do is best for you, right? So now I'm just going to center this one in the middle of that square there. And I don't really cut those off until I'm done, because I don't really stop and waste my time cutting off those dog ears. And remember, this shape is oversized, so it's going to look funny until we trim it. I'm just going to finger press that open, line up those edges there. Finger press that back. You could trim those off if you like. Make it a little bit easier so they're not in the bulk in your block. There you go. I trimmed them off, pressed them this way. Now I'm going to press. All right, so I'm just going to leave this here for now. So I'm going to do all my trimming at one time. And now I'm going to do my 4 flying geese. Take my cream, line it up on the big red triangle. And I'm going to stitch all of those in at one time. Is this good, Kaylee? Can we see us over here? Yep. All right, so now I'm going to press all of those flying geese. All right, second side. So I hope you are loving stitching these blocks. I think they're addicting. When I made them that week, I just wanted to keep making the next one, keep making the next one. have my 4 units. Grab my rotary cutter and my rulers. All right, so now the flying geese, I am just going to put that on there so it looks like 1 5/8 wide. So we'll just trim off all the dog ears. You always want to do the straight line that you know on the bottom of your geese. That's your starting point for trimming. Always line the 1 5/8 up on there. And then trim off the dog ears. All right, so now in the directions, it tells you to trim this to 2 3/4. So what I would do is, what is the center, what is the half of 2 3/4? 1 3/8. So 1 3/8 is where I'm going to put my ruler on the point on the square. So I want to make sure you see this good here. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to put 1 3/8 here and there on that tip of the ends of both squares. And then I'm going to trim. And then I flip over. Now I'm just going to go 2 3/4 from this edge to trim this side. All right, so that's simple enough. And you're going to have a little float. This little square is going to float in the middle. You'll see some light underneath. That will not come to the right at your 1/4 of an inch. So I like that you see a little bit of white around the whole center of the square in the middle. All right, 1 3/8 again. Just one line after the half, or before the half, not after. All right, then I go to 2 3/4 and trim that side. All right, so now I have that center part trimmed. I'm just going to quickly trim off my dog ears here, and you could do this with your ruler when you have it on your mat, but for some reason I just think clipping them with my scissors is a lot quicker. And I'm all about efficiency and getting these blocks done fast, because we might have another Quilt-Along block that we are working on too, right? All right, so block right there. Looks like it's on point, but it's not. All right, and then I'm going to place my flying geese white to white to cream there. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to stitch 2, 2, and 2, and then add the third one. All right, so now to press. So if I press that to the edges that way, that's a lot of bulk there in the seam. Whoa, I really did not get that one good. I might have to take that out. All right, we're bringing out Jack. That's okay, right? You have to do it sometimes too. Yeah, I did not like the looks of that one. Where's one of my ones I like? Here we go. I really love these little seam rippers that pull all the thread out. Okay, let's do this again. Make sure that looks a little nicer. Must have lopped it off just a little too deep. All right, I'm going to pin it this time. When it all fails, revert to the pins. So now I'm going to actually look to see where this one is, and I'm going to hit it right there with my seam. So this is how we compensate. Oh, much better, much better. All right, so now I am going to press these two open to distribute the bulk of all that there. All right, I'm going to press that seam open, press that seam open. All right, so now those are open, but I could press these open or I could just push them to the side. I think I'm just going to push them to the side. All right, now it's time to put them back together. Make sure they're lining up. Now the pins have to come out. Match up that center point the best I can. Check them. Ooh, they look good. Now this one. Check the seam. Pin in place. After a while, it's just like automatic, right? Automatic pilot. But how was that? I had to get Jack out. Because we're not perfect. None of us are. So if you think that you're the only one that makes mistakes, or, you know, things don't go right the first time, so let's check it. Looks pretty good. Now let's get those seams open. I almost always press these last row seams open, for sure. A little square here. All right, so let's trim this up just a little bit. They're 5 inches, so I'm going to put that on the 1-inch part of my ruler there. Give it a little bit of a trim. And the last one there. All right, there's a above shot, and there we go. Block number 7 is in the books. Next week, you will get 2 blocks. So if you noticed a pattern, one week, 2 the next. So that's how it's gonna go. So we'll be doing 8 and 9 next week for you. All right, everybody get stitching.